Hello guys, Termex here, and today we're going to be doing a gear progression guide for crossbow and daggers specifically. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where these people are just on a website and telling you what to get because the stats are good, but this is coming from somebody that's actually played the game. I've hit the mid-game point, and I'm farming my way towards the end game. Now, regardless if you've played the beta or if you're just getting into it, because this video will be out around the day of full release, this is the gear you want to focus towards first. I know people are going to say, get greens, get this, get purples. Don't worry what you're getting gear-wise up until mid-game, because to be honest, a lot of it's pretty shit and it's going to be greens and whites anyway. You know when you're in mid-game, when the majority of your gear is blue and you have one or two purples, that's around the mid-game, but you need this gear that I'm going to be showing you guys to progress into the end game. If you want the right gear and the ability to actually farm for the end game gear, this is a gear set you will need for this build. So going over into my character, we see I am only 2100 power, okay? I'm working on getting it up there. I need to get the accessories and belt, which drop from dungeons, but we're going to go over all this together. Now, daggers, I don't really know which daggers are great at the moment. I've mainly been focusing on the crossbow, but the heroic crossbow of resistance, this is a very easy purple crossbow to get. It just takes a little bit of time and dedication. What you're going to want to do is you want to do contracts. Contracts will give you the contract tokens. My best place and my personal favorite place to do it is all the way up here at the Watcher's Post. Do any contracts that say runes of terrain, whatever that says. Only accept the ones in this area so you don't have to leave, and you'll do all of the quests within this region. And I won't lie, in order to get this, it is a whole lot of contracts. You don't have to take this route necessarily. If you could just go straight for the purple crossbow that is within the dungeon. Now, the actual endgame crossbow is going to be from the Temple of Slaughter. It is going to be this crossbow right here. That is your endgame barrier crossbow. But if you want the journey to be a little bit easier, do your contracts, come to the contract coin manager, and once you have 1500, buy this precious hero selection chest, and then this chest you could just obviously choose the purple crossbow that I've shown you here. Now for the helmets and pants, these are both a part of the Hex Weaver set, and the Hex Weaver set gives both dexterity, which obviously you want bonus dexterity, but having these two pieces almost gives you 10 total dexterity. Now if you're wondering where those pants are from, click M. You're going to be killing ants, and you're going to be killing a whole crap ton of ants. Over into the ant nest, as you can see, I'll zoom out so it's easier. This is the area on the map. We zoom in to the ant layer. There's a teleport right here. Now you don't have to do the entire dungeon. You need to kill two specific enemies for these two pieces of armor. The worker ants will drop the hats, and then the acid ants will drop the pants. Just go there, kill only worker and acid ants, and you'll get these pretty easily. I mean, there's a lot of blues, but the only blue armor is the pieces that I presented. So get those two, level them up to 9, because you want to be able to transfer that XP into your end game gear. That goes for all this. Any of your blues, level up to the max, because it's actually cheaper to infuse the XP from a blue to a purple than to use all your resources to level up a purple. Now the next piece of gear is a heroic tunic that is purple. This you actually get upon completing the actual game, and you get to choose in your codex what armor piece you want. If you already did this and you accidentally selected the wrong one, then just use a generic blue chest piece for the time being. It's not worth farming for something else. And now for the accessories, the necklace is just something I crafted. You're not going to get a good necklace unless you get a lucky dungeon drop or you're in the end game, then which the end game will transfer into more personal preference. But as for the jewelry, the one ring that doesn't really matter, that is going to be a whatever type of slot, is going to be one of the dungeon drops that I got lucky with. But one ring you could guarantee chase is the Violent Signet. Now this gives you attack speed and 5 dexterity, which is absolutely bonkers. Now the thing that's easy, you click escape, go to your book, and we're going to type in violent so we can see the recipe. And as you can see right here, you get it upon all 4 of the green rings, and all you have to do for that is go over into the jewelry crafter and craft all 4 of the green rings. This is kind of expensive if you don't have any of the earlier green resources from the early game, if you accidentally used them. So if you cannot do this and you cannot take this route, then I would just recommend following the route of just doing the current dungeons you have unlocked and then allowing yourself to wait until the end game rings, but your power will obviously not be as good. The Imperial Bracelet is a personal favorite of mine just because it gives you a lot of melee defense and it rolls with magic defense as well. This is actually from a co-op dungeon as well in Tyrant's Isle. This is one of the easier ones, like the really easier ones, and I got it to drop from there. Very good pickup, but if you get lucky, your bracers, which is from the same exact dungeon, the purple version, gives you mana regen, ranged evasion, and dexterity, which I would also recommend above this. This is more if you want to be tankier, and this is more if you want to do more damage, but both drop from the same dungeon, which is very convenient. Now for the Glade Stalker boots, These give you hit chance and maximum health, and they have a nice split. This is also from the co-op dungeon Spectre's Abyss. It's literally the first one in the game. You're probably going to get this after 1 or 2 runs, and it's something that you should be using until later on in the game when you have other pieces of gear, kind of like the Essence shoes that come from this dungeon. And now the gloves are another one where I'll just try to get any blue gloves that pertain to your stats. There's no real gloves chase in the mid game, and anything that you are chasing is a very niche difference. Now the handguards I do believe I got from an open world offense, but you could also just get any generic blue handguards. This is the one slot that you don't really need to farm for because it's kind of not really handed to you, but the cloak you can farm for. Very, very similar to what we did in the lithography book. We can type in the word cloak, and as you can see right here, if you get all 4 of the green cloaks, you get the blue one for completely free, which gives you crit hit chance and hit chance, and for your build that is absolutely needed. Same process as I showed you guys with the 4 green rings with the accessory guy, except you're going to go to the armor guy, and you're going to go over into your cloak, and you're going to craft all 4 of these if you can, or you could actually right click these things and go over into the how to acquire, and you could see the enemy that each one of these drop from. You can click the button right there, and it'll take you to the area where that enemy actually drops the item. So you don't have to spend your resources to craft the rings or the cloaks. You can go farm them for free if you would like. Just do note it is a very timely thing, and drop rates are very iffy when it comes to green items. And because a lot of people have been asking me about stat distribution, currently in the game I do have 50 dexterity because I'm more focused towards PvP, but of course this build is fine for PvE. Perception is going to help you a lot with your hit chance and just the amount of times you could bind people and increase the chances of stunning people, which is very good. And then strength will make you a little bit more tanky and allow you to survive a little bit better. If you don't like this glass cannon setup I have here, you could do an even split. You could do like 30-30 and then the rest into dexterity, but I like the bonuses that dexterity has because I like to be fast, I like to do a bunch of damage, and that's my personal way of doing it. I would only go into wisdom if you find yourself running out of mana a whole bunch, but you unlock a skill pretty early on in this game by the name of mana exchange, where you could just consume a portion of your health to get an equivalent portion of your mana back. And to be quite honest, if you're invisible, if your pet is constantly healing you in your inventory, it really isn't that noticeable. As you can see here, if I click V, consume my health, it's going to recharge quick, and on top of my little guy healing me, we're going to be completely fine. But that is the gear guide for mid game. As you transfer into the end game and you start to do more things and you want to actually progress into the end game, this gear will easily get you there. I'm doing very well in all the end game dungeons with my squads, and yeah, that's the video, guys. If you did enjoy, it does help a lot if you hit the like button on the video and subscribe, as it does spread out more content to people in the community, and I will see you guys later.